Get back, get back, get back, get back!
As international criticism of Israel's war in Lebanon grows, a sharp public challenge is now emerging from a former senior Israeli military intelligence officer. According to a report by Al Mayadeen, retired Reserve Colonel Ronan Cohen has publicly criticized the leadership over the military campaign against Hezbollah in southern Lebanon and called for the IDF to withdraw its troops. It is a striking break from the official line, coming from a retired reserve colonel with decades of experience inside Israeli military intelligence, and the remarks are now being rapidly amplified across Israeli and regional media. Cohen's language was blunt. Speaking about the situation on the ground, he likened Israeli soldiers operating inside Lebanon to sitting ducks, pointing to a rise in IDF casualties inflicted by Hezbollah fighters. According to Al Mayadeen's translation of the interview, Cohen argued that the current deployment serves no strategic purpose, and said plainly that Israeli soldiers are being killed for nothing. In Cohen's assessment, the current military presence in Lebanon is strategically wrong, insisting, "We're there for no reason," and adding that any genuine military objectives could be achieved in other ways. He then went after one of the government's central justifications. Cohen dismissed official claims that the deployment is necessary to protect settlements in northern Israel, saying flatly, "This is an illusion." He accused Israeli officials of throwing dust in the eyes of the residents of the north and the entire Israeli public. In other words, he was accusing officials of presenting the public with a false picture of what the deployment is achieving, and at what cost. Cohen was equally direct about the enemy. He argued that Hezbollah's missile and drone capabilities remain largely intact, saying they are still capable of reaching everywhere. "We are seeing casualties all the time," he said, describing the situation as increasingly difficult and admitting that it was painful to talk about. Coming from a former senior Israeli intelligence officer, that is a remarkable public assessment, an argument that despite the scale of the campaign, Hezbollah still retains enough missile and drone capability to impose serious costs. Drawing on Israel's long and bloody history in Lebanon, Cohen warned that the worst may still lie ahead. "Anyone who knows the Lebanon experience understands that we have not yet witnessed the truly difficult events," he said, adding that the cost compared to the benefit is simply not worth it. He ended with a warning that doubled as a plea. "We must withdraw," he said, "instead of waiting until reality forces us to retreat." It is the kind of statement that, coming from a former senior officer with extensive intelligence experience, lands far harder than any outside criticism could. And from the other side, the tone was anything but doubt. In a fiery speech in Beirut, Hezbollah chief Naim Qassem declared that the resistance would survive and that Israeli forces would ultimately be driven from Lebanese soil. He insisted that Israel's long-standing goal of destroying Hezbollah had failed and vowed the group would never surrender. "We do not fear death," he declared, "and this is an essential component of victory."
No one can properly analyze these issues. I say that we are at the most dangerous stage of our lives in Lebanon, facing the greatest American, Israeli, and international conspiracy, and the most dangerous situation for our country and our children's future. What is the conspiracy and the plan? I will not take up much time. I will mention a few points regarding the enemy's conspiracy. God willing, others will discuss and interpret it. First point. The goal of this plan is to destroy the resistance and its resilient people and to completely root it out of Lebanon. How? First, through the criminal Israeli war on Lebanon without any restraint by killing children and civilians, and through destruction and every criminal act until the resistance is brought to its knees. They did these things. Two, the enemy and America agree. They destroyed the previous agreement after Syria. They saw that the regional equations were changing. So they wanted to disrupt the equations. The conspiracy is very big and dangerous. What must we do? We have a goal. We have a strong plan, and it is our right to defend our land. We have revised the military structure of Hezbollah, adapted it, and coordinated it for new wars. We changed our methods of warfare and adapted them according to the circumstances and the lessons we learned, and we are conducting guerrilla warfare. We advanced our capabilities in weaponry, for example, drones. All of this was achieved by the hands of the brothers in Hezbollah. We possess the spirit of martyrdom, the mujahid, the resilient fighter, someone like whom you cannot find in history. At this high level of martyrdom, this is the foundation of Hezbollah's cause. We also consider the social situation of the people. We provided them with resources. We try to ensure they live well. We try to provide shelter for all the displaced people of southern Lebanon. Given that we were completely under siege, we had unity. We maintained the unity of the resistance forces, the unity of Hezbollah and the Amal movement, and all the honorable people who stood with us. The foundation of our work is that we are one. They tried to separate us, but thank God they could not. We have a long-term plan. It is not that we make a decision overnight for a few days. No, we are prepared to continue the path. Our tactic is ambiguity and silence, so the enemy cannot guess what will happen. I have made a Karbala-like decision, meaning there is no surrender, and this Karbala-like Ashura decision has been made, and we stand by it. We waited where necessary and fought where needed. We waited for 15 months, and this patience was a form of war. And on the 2nd of March, all war was a military war, and the situation will not return to what it was before the 2nd of March. The details are many, but I have shared some of the issues. Israel's plan and scheme. It is not in a good situation. Their conspiracy to destroy Hezbollah has been defeated, and Israel will withdraw from the last inch of Lebanese soil. Be certain of this. Victory, in the full sense of the word, meaning the expulsion of the Israeli enemy from our land, must be realized, and it will be, God willing. Hold your head high, O fighter. Hold your head high. There are not compromises. They try to sow discord between Sunnis and Shias. They wanted to, for example, support the prime minister against Hezbollah. But thank God this sedition was also eliminated. They tried to create sedition, even a Shia Christian sedition. They said we could not turn the army against the resistance. We could not incite the Sunnis against the resistance. Therefore, let us incite the Christians against the Shiites. They tried very hard this month. They interfered a lot, yet they claimed that we do not interfere. Then there was international and Arab aid, which exerted intense pressure against the resistance and in favor of Israel in various ways. All the world's intelligence systems are operating in Lebanon to gather information. They utilize all resources, the media, Politicians, everyone was employed to pressure Lebanon and the Lebanese government and to besiege us. So America was their commander. America led this entire conspiracy. It was involved in every detail and utilized all its resources. It is a conspiracy that we are facing. They use all their resources to destroy the resistance. These were the issues behind the scenes.